Start your habit of continuous learning today. Visit nomadphp.com.
Welcome to Nomad PHP Lightning Talks. I'm Joe Ferguson. Nomad PHP Lightning Talks are 10-minute talks that give a high-level overview or an in-depth look at a small portion of a PHP-related topic. Lightning Talks are a great way for new speakers to build their speaking resume and for long-time speakers to test drive new talk ideas. If you'd like to give a 10-minute Lightning Talk, please email me, joe@nomadphp.com. Right now we have Tomasz Kunicki, and he's going to be talking about considering effectiveness in test automation. Tomasz, take it away.
Thank you very much, Joe. And today I wanted to talk about considering the effectiveness about test automation. And for first, I am PHP developer with 10 years experience. And in the last few years, I was the big fan of BDD, TDD, and topics around the code quality. And one of the aspects is the effectiveness of automation tests. First, I wanted to start with a little theory about the testing itself. First question is what reason we test our project? Is to create the stability and guarantee the meeting with functionality of our project with business. Another question, what we really test is about the project itself. We're testing the code, the integration and code integration, and simply the aspects some of our project, like parallel users or connection to database or installation over what we do in everyday production. Another thing about our testing process is the aspect of testing itself. First, we assume we have some aim. The aim for is differ in the testing what we test. The aim differ in the testing itself. For unit testing, we want to test overall the classes and the integration to have guarantee the stability of the process. If we're testing the functionality, we want to guarantee meeting with functional business have. Another one is the attitude, what we assume at the start of the testing. The most well-known is about splitting in the black box testing and white box testing. White box testings is when we know what is inside the project itself and how the process of our input working with that, and we're testing how everything is working. About the black box testing is when we know only the how look like the input and how would look like the output of a given test. If we overall know the process of testing, we can talk about the effectiveness. Then the first it is as the main aspect of testing itself. Then first question, what is effectiveness? It's about how close we from current place. Effectiveness is how close we will go after go with our action closer to our aim, without counting with our input what we get. For that, we need to know what matter in the context of effectiveness. It's differ between some aspects. First, one of the aspects is the person that counts the aim. Second aspect is what is our aim itself. For example, for business person that will want to run our test will be to meet functionality requirements and to have readable output of that process. For tester, it will be to meet requirements, but in functional level, and of course at the level of technical coding. For programmers, mostly we only focus on the technical aspects of our project, like testing parallel connection or testing code stability, etc. Then, if we know what is the context of testing process, we can measure the effectiveness of given process. For unit testing, we count how many lines of code is executed during the process of running unit test. Other measurement is technomatic complexity, when we have the how many patch our code could be executed and how many of that we could cover. This is not simply to calculate. For functional testing, it's how many of functionality of our system and how many use cases we cover of our project. Then, effectiveness in practice for unit testing. First example shows us that we register some examination process close reason for given register. This is the simplest test, as this class have only two aims. One is to hold the reasons, and second one to have it as collection. But our programmers, as simply test this later after the creating the register itself, omit the place when we throw the exceptions, as he only assumed that positive scenario of our unit testing. This way, if we wanted to assume that our class register will be stable in any action that would be done, then he omit the scenario when we throw the exception. We have the guarantee that we throw the exception, but our test not cover that scenario. Another example is effectiveness in functional testing. I will go with the BHAT scenario for this example. If we read the main documentation, the first example that we will meet with BDD is about the simple description, the technical functionality in a way when business people will be simply understand the given situation and given functionality and the context of executed code. But I very often meet with situation when developers go with Selenium extension when they go too much over focus of the API itself and how it look like. And in our scenario, we inject a lot of technical information that for business itself won't be helpful. This way, the scenario go with the requirements of the functionality, but as descriptive aspects for business, they don't fulfill this one. If we add a little more effort, we could refactor this scenario to looking like more descriptive. Going to about a little more positive, but not perfect example, we have the saving the draft. Our steps are executed in given process, and if any business person would read this scenario would know that for given task we can save some content for that. The only problem I could find in this is that it shows that as I am a doctor, I could have some subordinates that wasn't through over our project. This way, it would be only a little mistake for developer. But going closer as with our aim to describe and meet with requirements with business person. Another example is when we want to describe the functionality, but we still inject information about technical stuff. In this example, I want to describe the positive scenario when I show the examination notes for person, but middle that I omit the step when I check technical validation of error page that I assume shouldn't be in given situation. This way, this is not needed in this place. Going with summary. When we go with our testing process, we need to be conscious about the real aim of testing and what we do for our test to have the best effectiveness, that we will get closer to our aim, and what we do to be closer to our aim without counting the input itself for now. And another topic is how we make our testing efficiency. This way, if we don't do too much effort of creating the scenario itself and testing process.
So thank you very much. Thanks for joining us for another Nomad PHP Lightning Talk. If you'd like to give a Lightning Talk, please email me, joe@nomadphp.com.